This is Talkin Hoopz, the show that discusses real NBA stories, gives you all the latest rumors, and gets you into heated debates.
It's dunks and layups. How many of his points have been jump shots? 0.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
0.
It's not happening. Not in this NBA. Maybe in the fantasy NBA that they're playing in, but not in this NBA.
We're going to challenge each other in practice.
We talking about practice, not a game.
Once the game starts, I mean, it's going to be easy.
You better get off whatever you're smoking.
Strap in, get your popcorn, put your headphones on.
This is Talkin Hoopz.
It's really good to checking out Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz.
Talkin Hoopz, the official talk show of NBRPA Miami.
Talkin Hoopz starts right now.
Talkin Hoopz. TalkinHoops.com. AJ, Kyle, the one, the only, Mark Strickland hanging with you for the show. NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out. We got a lot to talk about. We'll go around the league, talk some preseason basketball, player injury updates. Brandon Jennings having some tooth problems. We got more on that. Early season predictions. Corey Maggette calling it a career. We'll find out. But Kyle, Mark, as you guys are having a sneaker war, how's it going?
Good, man.
And you
Everything is good. I see Mark's flashing some sneakers. All right,
guys are crazy.
So everybody at home knows where these sneaker conversations are about to come from. Kevin Durant is going to be dropping a new sneaker on October 19th. The peanut butter and jellies. All right, they're inspired by peanut butter and jelly. They look crazy. I think we got a picture of it, AJ, if you want to throw it up there.
There it is.
We got, there you go, some crazy inspired sneakers. I can't wear those. I can't pull those off. Durant probably can, but I can't.
Yeah, that's...
but I like to keep it classic. I'm more of a classic Jordan guy. I got the 13s at home with the green underbottoms, the Terrell Owens as they're called. You know,
Okay.
I keep it simple. I stay with Jordan. I keep it in the family with Jordan. Okay,
Right.
I don't stray away from Michael. He's never done me wrong in the past. So these peanut butter and jellies, they look nice. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think I can get them.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you keep things simple too, Kyle. That's how we like
keep
it.
it simple, you know.
We like it like that.
Just wear these Jordans right here. Here we go. In case you didn't see them before. Boom.
We're like all over the place here. Strickland's holding up sneakers. Kyle's holding up
He
sneakers.
wants to challenge me to a sneaker war all of a sudden. He wants to pull out some sneakers.
Yes.
But it's cool.
Sneakers.
Yes.
You're so Brooklyn.
Yes.
I love it.
I love these Jordans, you know, and that's it. That's basically what I've been doing for the past 20 minutes is going through my sneaker collection.
I know. I have seen the entire collection. You know.
It's extensive.
You got a lot going on, man. You got your couch hunting. You got your sneakers you're dealing with. Your floor's being ripped up. I mean, Kyle's whole life is under construction right now.
All life under construction, bachelor pad status stuff going on right now. But I'm excited. I'm excited about preseason basketball. I'm excited about the season around the corner. You know, everybody's getting hurt, but basketball is here. That's the important thing.
That's all that's important. Basketball is here.
What were you up to? What were you up to this weekend?
Me?
Yeah, you.
This weekend, man. This weekend was a good weekend. The wifey had to be in a parade in Indiana.
Okay.
And she was gone, so it was boys' weekend. Me and Markai. On Saturday, we went to do the basketball tournament here, high school basketball tournament. We watched that all day. My man Wes from Nike.
Okay.
He came out and he does the tournaments and he worked with us with Cabolo. We was there all day Saturday and Sunday. Me and Little Junior went bowling at OJ McDuffie's. He had Strikes for Kids Foundation 81. His Catch 81 Foundation. We went bowling to give back to the kids. Man, it was a good weekend.
All right, giving back. NBRPA right there. Giving back.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. OJ McDuffie.
Yeah.
The dopest, toughest Dolphin receiver ever. If you can catch a ball across the middle from Dan Marino with those rockets, man, you got my vote. Huh? That guy throws hard. Trust me. I went to the practice site when I played with the Heat, and he threw me a ball, man, and it was on took one. I was like, oh, I'm cool.
All right.
So, like, yo, don't break my fingers. I need these hands right here.
Yeah, man, I need them. I got to work with these.
All right, so let's go around the league. Let's talk some preseason basketball.
Yes.
Some good games, some surprising things happening. I know, actually, our boy Junior getting crossed over by Landry Fields, and then he missed the dunk. That was like a big thing. That made some news. And I was surprised too, because like everyone made it out to be this big deal, and it really wasn't that big of a deal after he missed the dunk. I was like, only Landry Fields would do that. That's exactly what happened. Only Landry Fields would miss that.
How's it a highlight if you missed the dunk?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like they made it like, oh my! And first of all, it didn't even look like he crossed him over. It looked like he slipped on some sweat or something. It didn't even look like he actually got him. So I don't know. I wasn't too fond of that. But of course the Knicks lost that game. It wasn't even anything special. Not that Carmelo Anthony was playing, but like you said, guys are in cruise control right now. I don't think anyone's really playing that hard.
Try not to get hurt. You see all the injuries. All the main guys trying not to get hurt. Yeah. Can't get hurt in preseason.
Yeah,
that's right.
They're turning up maybe last game. No, maybe like one game before the last game, then they'll be ready opening day.
All right.
That's usually how it's done.
So what was it like for you, Mark, in the preseason? Were you trying to, prove a point that you can still swing with these guys, or were you also kind of in cruise control?
No, I had to go, man. With the Heat, man, they usually have a rotation. If you're not in that rotation, the preseason is when you have to show what you can do. And I was always a guy that Rouse could depend on to come in, add energy, that type of thing. I could play 2 to 3 to 4, sometimes to 5, depending on matchups. So preseason for me, man, it was a go. I mean, then once the starters started to play, my minutes kind of went down, so I knew that I did a good job. I could tell by practices I'll be on the second team instead of the yellow jersey team, which was like the poop squad, what we called that. So once I got rid of the yellow jersey and I was wearing a regular practice jersey, man, it gave me an opportunity. I knew that I did a good job in the games that I played in. So, it was turned tough for the guys on the bench.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So, like, everybody is, we talked about it, you don't want to get hurt. I want to start in Detroit because that to me is a team that I thought, I still do. Nothing's changed, but they can get a 6th seed, I think, in the East because of all the talent that they brought in. They bring in Chauncey Billups. They bring in Josh Smith. Brandon Jennings.
Billups is like, 40 years old?
Yeah, but that's a guy you want on your team.
But he played in like 2 seasons.
But you want Chauncey on your team. That's a guy.
Good locker room guy now. He's not going to lead that team to anything, but he'll teach some guys though. That's pretty much be his role.
That's perfect because they have Rodney Stuckey and Brandon Jennings in the backcourt, who are both young, or considerably young. They're not rookies or anything, but they're young, and they can definitely learn from him. Especially about being a point guard because Brandon Jennings is more of a scoring point guard.
Yeah,
so he can learn how.
That may help him. Yeah, you're right about that, Kyle. That'll help him a lot. Yeah, he needs somebody like that to kind of give him some type of mentorship.
Right.
I say, he needs that. He needs that a lot.
And those injuries though, that Rodney Stuckey broke his finger. Yeah. He is, they don't know if he's going to be ready for the season opener. They're hopeful, but they don't know. Now, Brandon Jennings is dealing with some wisdom tooth compacted fracture in that tooth. He's dealing with some crazy mouth issue with his tooth. He's going to be out 3 weeks. They're expecting him to be out 3 weeks from this, which means he's probably going to miss the opener. But what we were just talking about is that point guard thing. You need chemistry. When you have these new players on the team, you gotta, this preseason right here is where you build that chemistry. And I'm sure you could talk on that when you get a bunch of new players on the team. You need to be familiar with, especially as a point guard, where guys like the ball on the court, where they can pick and pop, what they're comfortable with, what they're not comfortable with. Yeah. And if your starting point guard is not there and he's going to miss the beginning of the season, that's not a good start.
Yeah, no. Usually what we used to do, man, is guys used to come in maybe a month early, and we would play pickup games after workouts, man, just to kind of get that kind of stuff going because in the preseason, especially now, I think practices are big. Practices is where you're going to learn guys what they can do, what they can't do because, the games are, coaches are trying to look at guys. They're trying to make cuts. They're trying to, also create rhythm with guys they know they're going to keep. Some guys are on the fence. Some guys are not. Then we have injuries. You may, it's going to change your decisions on, hey, I might keep this guy for a little longer and not that guy. So, I mean, the best thing to do, man, is get guys there early. As many guys as you can there early. Somewhat like Brooklyn did, like the hat plug. And Brooklyn, they did a lot of stuff in the summertime to kind of get guys, get used to each other and kind of build some type of camaraderie, and that's what you need in the preseason.
That's right. And speaking of Brooklyn, Darren Williams, there's a guy that has an issue. He hasn't been able to put in any time because of his ankle. They don't know if he's going to be ready for the opener. So a lot of different things going on in the NBA right now. A lot of injuries and stuff.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for Brooklyn. They need him a lot because he definitely pushes the tempo.
It's all going to go with Darren Williams. He's the star of the team. I know that they brought in Pierce and Garnett, but that's really more of added pieces. They're going to be there for a year or two. I think Darren Williams, as they believe, is going to be the cornerstone of that franchise. So everything's going to facilitate through him, especially being the point guard.
And I think they're trying to wait to make sure that ankle is really healthy, I think. Because I think last year he came back early, then he re-injured it again, and it was just like a whole big ordeal. So I think they're going to wait until it's healthy, and then they're going to put him out there, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah.
So those are the injuries there. A couple of guys, around the league are still trying to get healthy. Russell Westbrook is one guy. Who knows when he's going to be back? That timetable is always changing. Yeah. That's something to monitor on OKC because if the Thunder are going to go anywhere, they need Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, they need him. They need him bad. Showed that last year in the playoffs. Yeah. They needed him bad. They needed him bad. I'm really not a real high Russell Westbrook guy because he's a scoring point guard, and sometimes I think he shoots his team out of games, but that's a big piece for them, and the way they play is up and down, so it fits what they're trying to do. So he's going to have to get that's a huge blow for them because all you got to do is pretty much double Kevin Durant and like they did in the playoffs, and what are you going to have? Serge Ibaka, Perkins scoring points?
They were banking on Serge Ibaka to pick it up. He didn't do it in the postseason. Now they lose Kevin Martin for basically nothing. They lost him in free agency, and they didn't get any of that production back in free agency. Yep. So now you're in a lot of trouble, especially in a Western Conference that only got better, starting with the Clippers. A whole bunch of teams got a lot better. The Spurs are still going to be the Spurs. The Nuggets got better. The Warriors got better. The Grizzlies are still going to be there.
All right.
Lakers going to do.
I'm butting in here. Okay, I'm butting in. Had some technical difficulties. We're good. I'm butting in here. We got a guest on the line that's going to help us go around the league here. Former Coach of the Year, current NBA TV analyst, Sam Mitchell. Sam, what's going on, man?
How you doing, guys? I'm listening to you guys' conversation, and I agree with some of it, but I think I disagree with whoever's talking about Westbrook. I think we all saw how important Westbrook was to this Oklahoma City team. And we all complained about how he played and he should pass more and things of that nature. But from my point of view, Westbrook has to play that way because if you look at it, Serge Ibaka for the past 2 years has disappeared in the playoffs. And Kevin Durant has shown that he can't carry the load by himself. And Westbrook is that guy. Yeah, I know he takes some crazy shots sometimes, but I tell you what, without Westbrook, people don't even pick them as a serious contender in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's true, Sam. This is your old teammate, Mark Strickland, and your Georgia hometown buddy.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Westbrook takes a lot of unfair criticism. I think the criticism was warranted until we realized just how valuable PC is to Oklahoma City. When he went down, they were just not the same team. I mean, they couldn't even function because he put so much pressure on the defense to where he makes life easy for everybody out there. And I know he's a volume scorer at times, but I tell you what, they have no chance without him.
Yeah.
But I feel like they don't have a chance with him either because he shoots them out of games sometimes. He's out of control. Just what you said. If he would pass the ball more, they wouldn't have looked as bad as they did when he got hurt. That's why they didn't know what to do because he controls the ball all the time. He's always on the ball, shooting shots, pulling up. There's no discipline to their offense sometimes, and I think that hurts them sometimes. There's always a point in the game where you're going to have to slow things down and kind of get buckets and be under control as an offense. And I think I like him as a player, and they definitely need him, but I think they're going to have to get another piece before anybody can consider them a championship contender.
If Westbrook is not shooting, then who are you going to pass it to? Serge Ibaka?
Nah, man. You got to keep that piece. They got to find somebody.
Especially this year, Kevin Martin's gone. You lost James Harden last year.
Yeah,
who are you going to tell Westbrook? Who do you trust more than Westbrook and Durant on that team?
Yeah.
Now that's all they have.
Right.
About eventually.
Okay, then. So my point is, Westbrook is going to have to take more shots because I don't trust anyone else on that basketball team when it comes to crunch time to score the ball other than Durant or Westbrook. And Westbrook, not only can he get a shot, but he can get to the basket on anyone.
He's a great. Westbrook's a great player. I think there's a lot of players that take questionable shots, but I mean, it's not like Westbrook is like, oh my god, like all his shots are terrible. I mean, every now and then he's feeling it.
He's not that bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a great player. I just think sometimes he needs to play a little bit more under control. That's all I'm saying. That's all my point.
But you could say the same thing about Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
you could say the same thing about any scorer. For the most part, I mean, that's their nature. Scorers are aggressive by nature. I mean, you could have said the same thing about Michael Jordan. That there was times when Michael Jordan took a lot of bad shots. But because he was Michael Jordan,
he wasn't the point
guard. He felt like that shot may be bad for the average player, but not for him. And I think Westbrook, I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but I'm saying all scorers have the same type mentality.
Yeah.
Well, they're 100% gonna need Westbrook in some capacity because they're in danger of becoming. They were the number one seed in the West last season. Yeah. They're in danger of, in my opinion, falling to 6, 7, or 8 because I don't think they're better than San Antonio. Don't think they're better than Denver, the Clippers, Memphis, Golden State. That's 5 teams. Houston is 6. So in my opinion right now, Oklahoma City is looking from a 1 seed last year to a 7 seed next season, especially if Westbrook's missing time.
I think they're better than Denver. I think you're going to see a different Denver team. Denver's not going to play that all-out style that George Karl had them playing. They're going to play more control. Because talking to Brian Shaw this summer in the Summer League, and he wants this team to be more of a playoff caliber team. And so how do you get ready for the playoffs? You have to play that way during the regular season. So I think he's going to be a little bit more under control with that team. And then again, I feel like OKC over them. I think OKC is still a top 4 team in the West. But again, without Westbrook, I don't think they can go deep into the playoffs or even be considered a serious contender for a championship.
So Sam, let me ask you, let's shift off OKC for a second. In your opinion, all right, what team do you think is kind of going to fly under the radar or this summer made some moves? Where, a team that kind of may surprise a lot of people. What would be your pick?
Well, I think Cleveland is not necessarily going to fly on the radar, but I think the expectation is going to be tapered because of Barry Young coming back from injury, and then you don't know what kind of shape Andrew Bynum eventually is going to be in. I mean, and with all the injuries they've had, I think Cleveland's going to fly on the radar until they're healthy. Then I think Cleveland has a chance to be a top 5 team in the East to come. And then out West, I still say this. Everybody thinks San Antonio. Every year you want to stick a fork in San Antonio, but some kind of way Coach Popper gets this team ready, and they end up being one of the elite teams in the West. I think Memphis is going to take a step back. I just think Dave Yeager, I think he's he's a fine young coach, but I think if he's going to try to play an up-tempo game, it's not going to suit Zach Randolph and Marcus All. So I think Memphis is going to take a step back because when you play up-tempo, then you're going to give the other team more possessions because part of their defense was their tempo. They held the ball and slowed the game down. So that was part of their defense. And now if you're going to speed the game up, you lose that element on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What about Detroit in the East? I'm particularly high on them because of all the moves that they made. Now we just spoke about. I don't know if you caught any of that, but Brandon Jennings is hurt. Rodney Stuckey is hurt. They may miss the beginning of the season, but I think Detroit, from the moves that they made, really put themselves in a position to get like a 6 or 7 seed in the East.
Well, I agree. I think Detroit with Brandon Jennings, Josh Smith, with the moves they made, I think Detroit's a playoff team. I think Detroit should be disappointed if they don't make the playoffs this coming season. With the talent, because they can put a big lineup out there that is good with Greg Monroe and Josh Smith. I think they can put and Drummond. They can put a big lineup out there that's second to none. And so I like Detroit. I picked Detroit as a team that's going to make the playoffs also. So I just think there are going to be some teams that haven't made the playoffs in the past that's going to make it going forward. There are going to be some disappointments with some teams. And I think you're going to see some of the teams that made coaching changes because of the style of play. Because guys got to remember something. Even though Memphis was good, even though Denver was good, they got new coaches. And these new coaches have to bring in their style of play, or the people are going to simply ask, if Dave Yeager plays the same way that they played on the line of Holland, why would you make a coaching change? And the same thing in Denver. Why would you make a coaching change if the new coach comes in and plays the same style and runs the same offense that George Carr did. It made no sense.
Denver
Because
was crazy.
Figure, those guys cannot coach that style better than the previous coaches.
You know, that's something I still don't understand. Denver making the coaching change. Look, I get Brian Shaw, I guess, deserved a chance. I'm not knocking that. But George Karl was coach of the year. You know, the Nuggets never had, like, a real go-to guy. I guess Ty Lawson on that team is, like, the closest thing to your go-to player. And it's not like he's considered one of the elite in the NBA by any means. And they still managed to have a really good season. It was, you know, unfortunate what happened in the playoffs. But, you know, Gallo was injured in the playoffs also. I mean, they were still missing some help, I guess, in that regard. But I was just surprised that a coach of the year got replaced by Brian Shaw. That was just bizarre.
Really? When did coach of the year guarantee you a job these days in the NBA? Remember, guys, yes, I got coach of the year. I got fired, and my record was 8-9. I was basically 500 with 2 new starters.
Yeah, that was also mind-blowing to me, though. I was surprised at that, too.
But that's the business now, man. You know, think about it. These general managers these days hire people that they're comfortable with. They don't hire guys that are coaches. If you look at the coaches that was fired, I love Brian Shaw.
Right.
I think all these guys who got a job deserve an opportunity.
Yeah.
But do you deserve an opportunity from a guy that won over 55 games?
Yeah.
I mean, what else is he supposed to do when you win 55 games? And there were guys who kept their jobs and teams underperformed. But for Lionel Hollins and George Karl, I get as a general manager, they're not your cup of tea. But you know what? Sometimes the guy that you may not like the best may be the best fit for your team coaching it, and the guy you like the most that you have a good relationship with, he may not get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think a lot of that is financial, you know what I'm saying? It has to do with money, budgeting, trying to cut back on that since players are making so much money now?
I think money is a big issue. I think it has a lot to do with personality conflict. I think in Memphis, I just think the new general manager just didn't hit it off with Lionel. I think in Denver, I think, you know, once Masai Ujiri left, I think they just decided that, you know, George Karl just wasn't their cup of tea. Yeah. And so I just think those changes were made. Yeah, I'm sure not having to pay Lionel Hollins and George Karl $4.5, $5 million a year had something to do with it. But I think it was just as much the new general managers just didn't feel comfortable with those guys.
You know, and I'm seeing a lot of coaching changes where a lot of coaches are now approaching players with that laid-back approach. You know, like they're not getting as frustrated with certain things. You know, and I don't know if I necessarily like that. I feel like I like the coaches that yell at guys, get on guys when they mess up because, you know, that I don't know. I feel like that's what coaches do. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you get guys to perform. I feel like we don't see, like, I don't see too many Greg Popoviches in the NBA anymore. You know, I just don't see them that often. I'm seeing more guys like Frank Vogel, Monty Williams, you know, guys that really just take that kind of subtle approach. They don't get mad at their guys when they make mistakes or anything. And I'm just, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. I just think
it just depends on your team, man. It depends on your team, what guys can and can't take, and so it just depends on the personality of your team. But I think it's a time and a place to get on guys about mistakes. But I also think sometimes you just have to understand the players today are different, and some guys just can't handle that. But I go back and say, look at the coaches who win championships. You know, the guys, the old school guys are the ones still winning championships. Everybody's trying to reinvent the wheel, but guess what? The guys that have realized the wheel is still round and the wheels on the bus go round and round, those are the ones that continue to win. And everybody who comes in with these new ideas, trying to reinvent the wheel, they don't win.
Yeah.
Nope.
So we're talking about coaching. I got to bring up then the elephant in the room. You can't see it, Sam, but I got a Brooklyn Nets hat on here. Jason Kidd, what is the deal in Brooklyn? How does that play out? Not only from a guy who goes from playing to coaching directly, but a guy who's taking over a team with people like Kevin Garnett and Jason Terry and Paul Pierce on the squad. How does that play out in your mind?
Well, I think Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce are professional enough to understand that, you know, Jason Kidd was a great player, but he's still a young rookie coach, and that they're going to have to help him sometimes and work with him about some things. But I think those guys are smart enough and understand the game enough to where it's going to be okay. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Jason Kidd's the coach. You got to listen and respect the coach. Jason Kidd knows these guys, and he understands that he has a better team, but he's going to have to understand that, it's going to be some give and take because veteran players have a strong opinion about certain things. And, as a young coach, sometimes it's a luxury to have veterans to listen to, but you got to be willing to listen to them.
Yeah. Right. So where do you think the Nets are going to finish this season, Sam?
I think they're going to finish in the top 4. I think that's all they need to do. I think trying to have the best record in the East is not that important to them. They need to be healthy and rested going into the playoffs. I definitely think they're going to be one of the top 4 teams. And I think the guy that's going to put them over the top is going to be Brook Lopez. I think everybody keeps saying Darren Williams and Joe Johnson and those guys. But I think the guy that's going to get them over the top is going to be Brook Lopez because for the most part, he's going to have a distinct advantage every night at that center position because he can flat out score.
For sure. Do you think there's any Eastern team that can beat the Heat in a series? I don't think so.
Well, I think if Greg Oden is not healthy and don't play at least 55 to 60 games, I think the Chicago Bulls or the Indiana Pacers can knock Miami out of that number 1 seed. I really believe that because, again, remember, San Antonio was a rebound and a free throw away from knocking off Miami. Right. If San Antonio gets that rebound, then we're not even having this conversation about Miami being the best team in the East.
Right.
Because they realized how fortunate they were to win a championship, and they realized that they don't bring some size in there. You can't keep asking Chris Bosh to play center. Right. Remember, Chris Bosh did not score a basket. Right. We're talking about a max player at the power forward position, an all-star. He didn't score a bucket in game 6. Game 7. That's scary.
Yeah.
Right.
Not one bucket.
Not one.
Now,
I still don't see I just still don't see nobody beating him.
I'm sitting at home watching on TV.
Yeah.
I think that there are teams that have the makeup to beat the Heat. Like you said, size is an issue. So the Pacers have that, and they bring in Scola. So the Pacers have size. So that's the kryptonite to the Heat.
Right.
The Knicks, they have the ability. I know they lost Copeland and Novak, but I think they still have the ability to lead the league in 3-pointers made. And that can hurt the Heat. Obviously, the 3-point basket is a great neutralizer to any game. So I think the Knicks and the Heat have that. The Bulls, they need Derrick Rose. Without Derrick Rose, obviously, they're not even a topic of conversation.
And he already tweaked his knee again or whatever.
Yeah, well, he had arrested. He had some soreness, but they said that was just for precaution. They're going to need Derrick Rose at MVP level, if not near it, if they're going to beat the Heat. And then you look at the Nets. They're a big mystery because you got Kevin Garnett, who may or may not be playing in back-to-backs. Same thing with Terry and Paul Pierce. So you got some age there. Darren Williams is hurt right now, so the chemistry is out the window for them early on. Brook Lopez pairing with Kevin Garnett is great because Brook Lopez can't rebound and Kevin Garnett can, so that's like a dream. They complement each other great. Yep. I do think teams have the components to beat the Heat, but when you put it all together, that's the question. Teams
can you put it together?
Yeah.
Can it come together on the court? Can the Knicks make the baskets down the stretch? Can the Pacers exploit the Heat down low on the block? Like you said, Bosh didn't even score. I mean, he wasn't even. He may as well not even been in the game. So he may as well not even been there.
Yeah.
I hear all that about the Miami Heat. I hear all that about Indiana, but don't forget, not only Scola, but you got Danny Granger coming back. You got a 18 to 20-point scorer coming back into your lineup. Right. A team that pushed Miami to the brink. And now you got a 20-point scorer coming back to the mix in Danny Granger, alongside Scola. Indiana has upgraded that roster, that bench, and I just feel like between them and Chicago, they are poised to overtake the Heat if Greg Oden can't play.
Can Paul George still be Paul George with Granger on the team, though?
Yeah, could those two coexist?
He could be better because now he can do the other things. He can handle the ball. He can play better defense. He can do more because, sometimes I think Paul George gets stuck between having to score too much. And I really think he likes the game to come to him rather than going to get it. And I think Danny Granger's the more let me go get it guy.
Yeah. I'd say I agree with that. I'd agree with that.
It's going to be interesting in the East and the West. I really think the Clippers did enough to be the number 1 seed next season. Starting with Doc Rivers, obviously one of the best coaches.
That was the
in
best
NBA.
move to me. That was the best move in the offseason, getting Doc Rivers.
Because it brings them defense. Because it brings them defense. Yes. He's a defensive coach. Doc Rivers is a defensive coach, and that's what they're lacking.
And he's a guy that players respect. I mean, I can't firsthand. I don't know for sure, but there was always rumors that the players didn't like Vinny Del Negro, that he wasn't a player's coach for them, that they didn't like him or respect him. But Doc Rivers commands that respect.
Yeah. He's a winner.
Well, I hear you, but I tell you what, you better win. You better win just as many games for the coach that you like as you did for the coach you claimed you didn't like.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. And look, Doc is a friend of mine, so is Vinny. Vinny did an outstanding job. I wasn't there, so I don't know what went on. You don't know what went on a day-to-day basis in that locker room. But all I know is that they won a lot of games.
Yeah.
And they did underachieve in the playoffs, but they won a lot of games. So it's going to remain to be seen.
Right.
Exactly. A lot of people are picking the Clippers to win the West. I'm not picking them because until DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, you can throw them the ball and they can score. And then they can shoot free throws consistently. I don't know how how you can have two guys with that kind of talent. You can't win the Western Conference if those two guys, and I mean legit all-star. Blake Griffin needs to become a legit all-star. Not an all-star because he has unbelievable highlights, but a guy that you can throw the ball to and he can get to the free throw line or he can score.
Yeah.
And he's got to make that jump shot. He's got to knock down that outside jump shot.
Absolutely.
I need that. All right.
Especially the short corner jump shot and the free throw line jump shot. You got to be able to make those.
Definitely.
For sure.
Well, guys, I like y'all. I enjoy the show. I'll talk to you another time, but right now I'm going to get off the show with you guys. Because we can sit here and do this all night.
All right.
And the money that y'all put into the meter has just ran out. No, I'm joking, guys.
No, it's all good. Sam Mitchell, former Coach of the Year for the Raptors and NBA TV analyst. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next week, man.
All right, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, Sam.
All right, Sam Mitchell giving his take. Gotta love
it. He's such a coach, man. He gives us such a coach's perspective.
I mean, you're getting there, Strick. You're getting to that point, man.
I don't know, but he opened my eyes to some things, but still the Westbrook thing I'm not buying. The Clippers thing, he's right about that. I feel like those two guys are going to have to be able to score, and I think Doc Rivers is going to put them in a position where they can score like that. That's why I said the key, just like Kyle said. I mean, the best and AJ, we all agree. The best move they made was Doc Rivers.
There's a reason why Chris Paul is considered the best point guard in the league. It's not just because he can score, but
he can do it all.
If Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan can't hit jump shots and are not effective scorers on their own, that's what Chris Paul is for. He's going to put them in the right spots. He's going to make sure that they're going to be able to score where they can. He's not going to put them in a position where they're going to have the ball in isolation on the wing. He knows they're not Carmelo Anthony.
I just like the balance of Chris Paul. I like that he's able to do so many different things. But what I really like is, look, as a point guard, he looks to pass first. Where if you got a guy like Darren Williams, in my opinion, I still think he looks to shoot first before he sets up guys. He's looking for that 3-pointer. If he's going to shoot more than Chris Paul. It's just the way it goes. I get that. Some guys are like that. That's really what that position is slowly becoming. But Chris Paul, I just like, he just does it all, man. He just does everything. Everything.
It makes things easier for everybody on the team.
Everybody.
Yeah, he does too. Yeah.
Everybody.
That's the definition of a good point guard. That's why Tony Parker is always considered, one of the best point guards, or he's in the MVP discussion.
Yeah.
That's why, and it's no knock to Darren Williams, but that's why Tony Parker is an MVP and Chris Paul is in MVP discussions, and Darren Williams isn't. There's reasons. They play their role as a point guard.
Yeah.
That's the role of the point guard. It's not to score. It's to get everybody involved so everybody can score.
Definitely.
Yep.
And it's great that Darren Williams can score 24 points or 20 points a game, but if the rest of his team isn't doing well, if him and Joe Johnson are coexisting, that's on the point guard. So
Yeah,
that's true.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That to me is the most important spot on a court is the point guard. He's like the quarterback. It's like on a football team. If you don't have a quarterback, you have the best team in the league. If you have the worst quarterback in the league at the same time, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't win in spite of somebody, especially as important as a point guard. You can't win in spite of a point guard.
Right.
Yep.
You know, and you can look at the Heat and say, well, look, Chalmers isn't a top 10 point guard in the league, but they won the championship. Yeah, but he doesn't handle the ball all game.
No.
You got LeBron
The
James
point
handling the
forward
ball a lot of
does.
times.
The point forward does.
Yeah,
He handles the ball. Yeah.
that's right. You know, teams that win the championship, they have, you know, Derek Fisher. Here's a guy who you wouldn't think is a good. I bet you when Derek Fisher was in his prime, any team would have taken Derek Fisher on their team.
Oh yeah, he was a difference maker too.
He's a leader.
He was a clutch shooter. You know, he made
Clutch
those big
shooter.
shots too. So
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
was
So
big.
you need it. You just that position is so important because with the league today, you don't need a real center. You don't need a real 7-footer to play center,
No.
as the Heat have shown you.
Yeah.
No.
You don't need a guy who's 7 feet to play center. You don't need a shooting guard who can hit a million threes. Everything is interchangeable except for that point guard spot. That point guard spot needs to play his role. Needs to he needs to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, some injury updates. Brandon Jennings' tooth, we still got to get to that. Corey Maggette, we'll talk a little. Is he going to retire? That's yet to be seen, but he did kind of say he would, so we'll see. Stick around. Talkin Hoops, TalkinHoops.com, NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com, and Mark, love the shoes, man.
Don't foul out. Talking Hoops will be right back. I'm Mark Sanchez with a message for women. This is the actual sound of my heartbeat. I'm sharing my heart to let you know that the symptoms of women's heart attacks can be different from men's. Please learn more. All it takes is a few minutes of your time in return for years of healthy life. That's a deal even my agent couldn't negotiate. Cover your heart. Learn more. CBS cares.
The new free CBS radio app streams your favorite CBS radio stations, as well as all your favorite AOL and Yahoo music stations directly to your iPhone, iPod Touch, and BlackBerry Bold. With 30 genres of professionally programmed stations at your fingertips, you can hear whatever you want, whenever you want. Stations like K-Rock, 1010 Wins, WFAN, AMP, and over 600 others. Now you can easily take your favorite stations with you on the go. The CBS radio app is everything you wanted from streaming radio and a whole lot more. Go to cbsradio.com/mobile to download your app today.
This is AJ, and you're checking out Talkin Hoops, where you can hear the true legends of basketball. If you missed any of the action from today's show, you can find the full episode on TalkinHoops.com or YouTube.com/TalkinHoops. And don't forget to follow @Talkin Hoops on Twitter and give us a like on Facebook for all the latest around the league.
Sassy!
This week's episode, Bobcat in the Cave.
Gosh, Johnny, playing in the cave sure is neat. Oh boy, a kitty cat. Sassy, the kitty cat's yelling. What, Sassy? It's not a kitty, it's a bobcat? Speaking of cats, you'd like to stress the importance of adopting cats from animal shelters? Over 5 million cats go into animal shelters every year? And with millions of healthy cats to choose from, it's a shame more people don't adopt from shelters? This bobcat's heavy. Help, Sassy! Why bother? We'll just get into more trouble tomorrow? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, nuts.
Sassy is brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org. Remember, adopt.
My dream is to become a mechanical engineer.
My dream is to be
A ballerina.
My dream is to be a veterinarian.
I want to be a chef. Truck driver.
A teacher.
A shoe designer.
Professional skateboarder.
But right now,
I'm just a kid.
just a kid.
I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. Ready to be adopted. I'm just a kid ready to be adopted. For the facts about adopting a child from foster care, contact the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption.
Hey guys, this is AJ. Want to talk more hoops? The greatest show is overtime. Check out TalkinHoops.com. Catch you on the rebound.
Welcome back to Talking Hoops.
About 15 players in the team. 14 get along.
Now here's a guy who likes to dunk.
On an 8.5-foot ring. Take it away, AJ.
Talkin Hoops, TalkinHoops.com, AJ, Kyle, Mark Strickland with you, as always, for the show. And getting back into this, Corey Maggette. Corey Maggette gets
Corey
waived
Maggette.
by the Spurs.
Man,
He's calling it a career. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
he according to a San Antonio beat writer, Maggette said if he doesn't make the roster, that he's going to retire, and he got waived today. So, going off of that, I think Corey Maggette is going to call it a career. I know he wants to join a front office. He's mentioned that after he's done with his playing career. He's only 33 years old, but he's been through a ton of injuries. I think he's just ready to rest his body. I think the toll on his body may have gotten too much for him to go through that grind again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you think? Well, like, as a player, when you realized that, you know what, it was time. It was just time to hang it up. Well, first of all, what went through your mind? And then, like, how do you do you just know right away, right then and there, or is it hard to accept? You know what I'm saying? How does that all work?
For me, it was fairly easy because I played after I played 9 years in the league. I played another 6 overseas. I played 7 overseas, but I played 6 after, 1 before the 9 years and 6 after. For me, when playing overseas, when I first started going overseas, I was playing on good teams where I didn't have to do everything. Once you get to the point where you start to have to do just about everything, and you're getting signed to teams. Not the first or second place team. You're getting signed to like the 6th place team or the 5th place team or the 7th place team. Then it's like time to hang it up. I played until I was 38. I was blessed enough to play until I was 38. I never had any serious injuries. And my last year playing, I was first team all FIBA, and I was got center of the year. And I just decided that it was time, man. You know, my body was slowing down. My my left knee was hurting a little bit more than it usually hurts. I started not to be able to move quickly and certain things that I used to do. Young.
Okay.
We got some issues with Mark, I think.
Yeah, I guess his Skype little
Yeah.
a little and
Yeah, it's a bad look, man. Well, it's just a bad look. So,
Mark, I think your computer is going through some injury issues right now as well.
Breaking up a little bit. Some signal problems or something. No, we hear you. You're just breaking up.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's all right. It's not your fault. It's your computer's fault.
Can you hear me now?
Damn, Mark, take care of your computer, man.
God.
Is this breaking up?
Jeez.
No, I think you're good. I think we're all right. But
It happens, though. It definitely happens to players as they get older. The thing about Maggette is that he's not that old. You know, 33 years old is not that old for an NBA player.
Right.
That can still even be considered, right at the end of your prime for some guys. And Maggette has always been a guy, very physical player, gets to the free throw line a lot just from his style of play. Sort of like Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade gets to the free throw line a lot. He's always taking it hard to the rim and always getting those hard fouls. So it's probably that. It's probably, just the grind, the constant grind of your body going through that. He's just not ready for that anymore. And he gave it one more go, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did, in fact, retire.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. But, no, I think... and Mark's trying to call back. Nope, it's not happening.
Nope.
Yep, nope, I don't know. Skype's being weird tonight. What could we say? I mean, it is what it is. There's Mark. Okay, we're back. We're good.
Oh, my God, man. It's Miami, though. It's Miami, man. It's Miami. I had to switch rooms tonight. That's the problem. I couldn't be downstairs. My son is getting tutored downstairs, so they booted me up to the guest room.
The guest room.
That's what it is.
The guest room boot. I see how. I get it. I got you.
I'll have a guest room in like 15
Well, wait.
years.
Let's get back to Mark's retirement, okay? Well, Mark retired. Now he's putting up 30 points in pickup games with Jamal Mashburn, all right? I mean...
Yeah, pickup is nice. I just started playing, man. My body started... I had to give my body a rest. It's fun playing again. Sometimes we play against some young guys, and I'm doing a lot of running, but my body is still responding pretty good, man. It's pretty good. We only lost one game. We're like 8-1 right now. We're in second place. There's a team that's undefeated. So, but it's fun. It's fun getting out there playing a little bit, staying in the shade, keep the blood flow. Yeah.
AJ is in the league also. He's in the Fisher-Price League.
Here we go again with the Fisher-Price.
He competes against 8 to 12
Listen,
year olds.
all right? It's an 8.5-foot rim, as we all know, And listen, when I play you guys on an 8.5-foot rim, I'm dunking under you. I don't even have to go over you. I'm dunking under you. Okay,
That's good, man.
that's right.
That's better than the league Kevin Hart plays in. He plays under the bed.
Yeah, exactly. He plays on like a 4-foot rim. All right, at least I'm at 8.5.
They play under the bed.
Show me some love here. Show me some love. All right. Yeah, White Owl. Come on, White Owl.
Hey, man, I'm giving you respect right now. You're the third leading scorer on your team of 8 to 12-year-olds.
Listen, anytime, Kyle. Me, Strick, you, and Mashburn, we're good. I'm telling you, all right? We're gonna.
No, you don't want that.
I'm telling
Mark
you.
don't want that either. Mark don't want that.
No, Mark wants that, all right? I'll drain threes all day.
Yeah, I don't want to see me on a court.
Listen, it's not even going to be. We don't have to. We shouldn't even be going there right now, all right? Because I don't want to embarrass you, okay? I don't want to embarrass you. Okay? I'll clip your wings. You won't even be able to fly.
Yeah. I highly
White
doubt
Owl
that.
with your little peanut butter and jelly sneakers.
Yeah, that's right. Get my jam on. That's right.
Listen,
Get my
Mark
jam
and I
on.
are going to be drinking that monster stuff, right? We're going to be loading up on that monster stuff, right?
Get my jam on.
Yeah,
Listen,
we're good. We're good to go. Okay.
I'm my street ball skills against your YMCA skills. Is that what you're putting? Is that what you're
J.R.
doing
Smith
right now?
comes to my YMCA, right? I play against NBA players. I don't know what you play against, all right?
You don't play against. You play against them.
JR comes to my gym. Hey,
You have a hard time playing against NBA players in 2K. Not even the players in 2K want to play with you.
Oh my God! Let's start.
And
with
it's a video game, and they still don't want to play with you.
Yeah, okay,
you try to control J.R. Smith in a video game, and it's not available. It comes up not available.
Yeah, get him off, AJ. Get him off you.
Oh, get him off me. We lose every 2K game because Kyle's on my team. Let me be
Yeah,
by myself.
Yeah.
God. All right.
Did a fantasy? We already know how the fantasy draft went. I'm not even going to go into that.
Get off that.
If there was awards given out, I would win the award for
biggest mouth. How about that?
That's fine. I'll take it as long as it's an award.
Biggest
mouth. And going into awards, I kind of want to shift the convo to who we think is going to win some awards next year. MVP, Defensive Player. I'm into all of that. I love following that. The candidates, the Sixth Man of the Year. To me, last year, Sixth Man of the Year was really, really interesting because you had Jamal Crawford, J.R. Smith, Jarrett Jack, all those guys. Grievous Vasquez, I think, was even in the conversation. All those guys just like really emerged to another level of their game. And I didn't think JR had another level to his game. I thought that we knew everything he was capable of, but he really proved that he evolved. Jarrett Jack, he surprised me a lot. I didn't think that he was going to be anywhere in conversation for any award ever, and he was the Sixth Man of the Year candidate.
And now he's injured.
Now he's injured.
Really? Now he's
still-
injured.
Yeah.
Now he's injured. Like Sam was saying, like Cleveland, if they could stay healthy, yeah, they could be a real threat. But if they keep having injury problems like everybody else in the league, I don't even know.
Well, Andrew Bynum obviously is the biggest one there about injuries. You know, is he going to play? When is he going to play? How many minutes? Back-to-backs? All those things have to be taken into account. And if you're basing your success of Cleveland on Andrew Bynum, then that's not good.
No way.
Actually, how about a guy that may not even play for a season? The Sixers, Nerlens Noel. Nerlens Noel,
Really?
Mark, your buddy.
I wouldn't play him anyway. I set him out the whole year. I would set him out too. I would let him get healthy and let him beef up. I would let work on his skills, and then I'll bring him back next year because he's not. He's not ready. I don't care what nobody say. And he's coming up with a crazy surgery. It's going to take him some time. I do the same thing they did with Derrick Rose. Sit him till he gets healthy, and do it and let him come back, man, and see what kind of draft pick you got.
Not only is he not ready, but they're going to be bad. They're going to be probably the worst team in the NBA. So why have him come back from injury, from that type of injury?
That's what, we were
just
talking
to play
about
on
that
a
before the
terrible
show.
team?
Why even have this guy come back, like in this season?
Yeah, they'll win about 23 games, something like that, man.
Exactly.
If that, they're not going to win a lot of games.
See, if the Sixers were in this situation last year with Bynum, then I don't care that Andrew Bynum missed the season, you know. But for them last season, it just kind of, you know, like Aaron McKee told us, you know, they took a risk, it didn't pan out, and you know, it is what it is. But I guess everyone would still do it again. Everyone would still make it.
I wanted to say that to Sam Mitchell. I wanted to say that to him. You never know. You don't know what's going to happen in Cleveland. You don't know what's going to happen with the new coaches. You don't know what's going to happen in Memphis.
Right. Well,
you just don't know. You just don't know.
But that's why we make a prediction, I guess. You know, that's why we just
chemistry.
Kinda guess. Yeah, chemistry, that too. Chemistry factors into it for sure. Like that's why I'm not sold on Brooklyn yet. Everyone's like on the Brooklyn Nets bandwagon. How many times have we seen teams just assemble together?
Not everybody. Not everybody.
It doesn't always work.
I'm not sold.
I'm not sold on Brooklyn. I go Indiana Bulls first.
The only way I'm sold on Brooklyn is based like Sam's like they're gonna finish in the top 4. I'm not disagreeing completely.
I would. Seventh, eighth.
But the league, if Derrick Rose is not playing, like the Bulls are not going to finish in the top 4, so that automatically moves them up. You know, like if everybody's healthy, then yeah, they're not going to finish in the top 4, in my opinion. But the way the league is right now, all these guys are getting injured. I mean, you just don't know. Teams are it's going to play out differently. It always does with injuries, you know. So I don't know. I mean, look at Brandon Jennings, his tooth injury, which we got to get to that. All right, I've never heard of this before. Guy has a tooth injury, so he's out for 4 weeks. 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's a compound fracture. He's a compounded wisdom tooth with a fracture in it.
How do you do that?
It's obviously bothering him, you know, and he's probably gonna have surgery on it, and you have surgery in your mouth.
Too many gummy bears. That's what it is. Too many gummy bears.
Him and
Lamar Odom.
If you have surgery in your mouth and you get some type of stitches in it, and you get elbowed and it opens up, you can't have that.
Right.
Guy's gonna look like he was in a fight with Tyson when he gets elbowed. I mean, you got to take precaution, and injuries are going to happen. That's why you play limited minutes. That's why Mark was saying a lot of guys are on cruise control.
Back when Mark played, there was no such thing as a toothache, all right? You manned up and you played, okay? That's just how it went.
Put a mask on, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him, put a mask on. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
No,
yes.
What is he going to wear? A football face mask?
No. Yeah, I got one. It's you just got to put it down here.
Like a mouth.
No.
Come on, man. 3-4 weeks? That's a long time for a toothache. Come on.
It's not a toothache.
Come on, man.
Glorified toothache.
Yeah. Tell him, Mark. Tell him. Man. Why don't you just go there and rip his tooth out?
Man. Come on, man.
Yeah, why don't you just go there and rip his tooth out for him, all right? Just make it, end it.
Come on, man. Unless they ain't got good dentists in Detroit. What's going on up there?
Yeah. I remember when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, the only thing exciting was all the ice cream I was eating. That was it. You know, the ice cream was big. You can have all the ice cream you wanted.
Ice cream and, what's that? Jell-O.
Jell-O, yes! Oh, you're taking me back now, Mark.
Bill Cosby.
24 years old, you're taking me back.
Temple University.
That's right.
If that's a shameful plug. If there was,
no, it's not. Don't hate on Strick.
If there was, hey,
Bill Cosby, man.
I'm not hating.
I like Jell-O, all right?
Bill Cosby has gotten more people educations than the government.
I don't disagree. I'm sure he did. And because of him, I own like 5 Coogee sweaters. I'm not disagreeing with his impact on society. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Plug. Shameless plug. That's all I'm saying. We know he's a big Temple guy.
He is a big Temple guy.
See you, baby.
I think Mark's a bigger Temple guy, though. Mark's pretty big at the Temple.
Yeah, I like Temple.
I know. You went there.
Temple basketball, not football.
Oh,
no,
man.
not football.
All right.
They the Temple Owls.
All right, so wait.
Owls, baby. TU Owls.
White Owls
everywhere.
The White Owl. See, it's all tied in. It's all connected.
I like the White Owl. What's up with the White Owl thing? Why is it the White Owl?
Yeah, why not? Why isn't it like the...
Describe that. Like, how did you come up with that? Like, I was wondering that the other day. I was like, an owl just sits and turns his head around and looks and goes, whoo.
Yeah.
Mark was walking
That's
down
all
the
it does.
street.
It don't fly. It don't do nothing.
Yeah.
Mark
But it scares pigeons away.
Yeah.
It scares
Mark
pigeons
was having
away.
dinner with the mayor. I was like, I wonder how Kyle got that nickname White Owl when he was having dinner with the mayor. That's what he was thinking about.
I was like, man, how did he get that? Like, how does
That's the name I was given, babe.
You should have asked the mayor. Maybe he knew. How does someone get that nickname, White Owl? That's what you should have asked the mayor. Maybe he would have helped you out.
The name I was given.
Pogo Man.
Yeah, Pogo
Man. Pat Ramsey. Google it.
I know.
Pogo Man.
Hey,
we gotta have a show. We gotta get a segment in here with like some of the best nicknames out there.
Oh, that's coming soon, right? Ain't this year they're doing what is that? The Christmas game or something?
Well,
nicknames
they're gonna do the jerseys.
Oh yeah, I know. Ray Allen's gonna have a lot of fun with his. That's for sure.
I saw him. He's gonna do Jesus Shuttlesworth. He said.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy that jersey and put it on my wall because that is the coolest thing.
That'd be smooth. That'd be real smooth.
That's gonna be ridiculous.
I gotta get me a Talkin Hoopz t-shirt to cover this flower up. Right
oh, the guest room.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
Sam was good though. He gave me a lot of viewpoints that I really wouldn't have looked at as a coach.
Well, I mean,
that was pretty good.
Hey, that's the
he's
special.
Sam Mitchell. He was coach of the year, you know? I mean, this is...
Yeah, man. Then they let him
he's
go.
the real deal.
That was terrible.
Sam is a real deal. That's what I mean. You know, and he was saying the same thing about George Karl. Like, how, you know, that's the business today, though. It just doesn't matter. You got 55 wins. What are you looking to do? Like, what do you think? They're going to win 56? What if they win less than 55? You look terrible.
Don't matter. They're looking out for their boy. Hey, I'm the GM now. I'm bringing my boy in. He's going to be the head coach.
Yep.
Boom. Just that simple.
Yep.
Just like Kyle getting a job.
Like
Kyle getting a GM job for the Brooklyn Nets. He's going to hire AJ. He's going to hire AJ as the head coach.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not. No, he's not. I know Kyle better than that, Mark. No, he's not.
Hire somebody to keep AJ as far away from my franchise as possible.
Kyle's hiring me to be the ball boy, if anything.
I don't want him badgering Kevin Garnett for a picture. I don't want him messing around.
AJ might motivate on that, man. He might motivate it.
Oh, listen, I'm the best GM, all right? I'd be a good GM.
Oh, I don't want you anywhere near my team.
I would be a good GM, but Kyle tends to... See, I only lose when Kyle's on my team. So, I'm putting that out there like that. I only lose when I play with Kyle. That's what happens.
Okay.
All right. Whatever you say.
Whatever
makes you sleep better at night.
The purple owl, all right? Listen, go pull a tooth out with Brandon Jennings.
Right? Whatever makes you feel better.
All right.
Tooth.
I'll be rocking my faux hawk with Chris Anderson and linking up with Kenyon Martin, and we'll get that thing going.
That'd be tight.
That was a great debate last week. I don't know how we got into that. I don't even remember where we got into that. For 20 minutes, you guys wouldn't stop about Kenyon Martin and Chris Anderson.
Kyle is the super Nick and LeBron Nets hat on. Shameful.
I switch it up. It's a basketball. I gotta switch it up.
And he's a Knick fan. He's wearing a Brooklyn Nets hat. He's a Knick fan.
I gotta show love to everybody. It's a basketball show. The people in Chicago.
See my hat? You see my hat? What that say right there? What that say? What does that say?
And I see your jersey behind you. And what does that say?
That says the Hawks.
That's
man, but
right.
It has I got this one because I wanted to frame this because it has about the war here. The ribbon for the war veterans, man.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Okay.
That's a special jersey.
Special jersey. All right. I respect that.
Come on, man. We got to be, even though the government is shut down.
Here we go. Not a politics show.
Terrible, man. Terrible.
What is it, Mark? When we go into the club, man? We're all supposed to go to the club. We're supposed to hang out, get some chicks. When's this happening?
Y'all got to come down to Miami for that.
I'm coming. I'm there, dude. I'm there. Yeah. But I am so that, dude, I'm there like you wouldn't believe after some stuff that happened today.
That's the Miami Heat secret weapon, South Beach.
Kyle.
South Beach. I'm telling you. South Beach.
Yeah, that's right. They use that to their advantage, Kyle.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
That's why I would never...
I'm not disagreeing. I don't know why you're saying
Nobody's going to come from freezing cold weather to Miami and not go out. Are you kidding me? Come on. And you're a millionaire? No way.
You got to be smarter than that, though. It's like if you play in the NBA, you have a considerable amount of money.
You got to do your job.
You don't need
the only team that did that. The only team that did that, Kyle, was the Spurs doing the playoffs, the finals.
Right.
Nobody went out. Nobody.
That's what you need. You have so much time to go. You have a whole off season to go wherever you want. You're in Miami for a night or two. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you doing messing around at the club for?
They're excited.
What?
Catch something.
Unless
catch something.
See, the Heat, they're there all the time.
Catch nothing out there. Ain't nothing good out there that they're going to catch.
The Heat are there all the time, so it's different for them. But guys come into town. It's just like when you go to Vegas. Man. Guys hit up the casinos. They want to gamble.
No, so you playing for the Utah Jazz, Kyle? You come to Miami, you going to sit in your room like, man, no way.
Yeah, because in Utah, you can have like 9 wives legally. You know, you can have like 9 wives at once, and it's a cool thing. So what is Miami going to offer you that Utah can't?
Let me correct you there. 9 ugly wives.
Nah, what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right.
I know Miami is crazy and players are getting in trouble, you know, like going out to clubs, breaking curfew and whatnot.
Listen, too many guys are getting in trouble in the NBA, all right, with J.R. Smith and the weed and you know, it's getting to be enough already. It really is. It's getting to be enough. Yeah. You know, I see where Kyle's coming from. Guys should really stay on track and, you know, focus. I think that honestly, when you go to South Beach, that's why teams don't play well, like Mark said, man. They're in the clubs. You got to focus. You know?
It's your job, you know? That's your job.
I remember last season, the Kings put up a great game against Miami. They came to the game. That's probably because they weren't at South Beach. They weren't there. They were just doing their thing. They came to play. They came to compete. I bet you that's what happened. And DeMarcus Cousins wasn't in the club.
Usually what they do is when you win the game, they'll say we'll stay overnight instead of going to the next city. We did that a few times. Yeah. Okay, we win in LA. We beat the Lakers tonight. We'll stay in LA for an extra night. You know what I mean? So, you want that extra night, so you're going to go out and play hard so you can get the extra night.
Gotcha.
That's usually what used to be. I don't know now. Maybe it's different now. But when I played, that was the deal.
That's how it went.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to wrap up the show here. It's that time already, guys. Crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. For AJ, for Kyle, for Mark Strickland, the one and only Mark Strickland. He's ours. He's a good guy, though. He's talking hoops every week with us, 7 p.m. NBRPA Miami chapter, NBRPAMiami.com. Check them out. A lot of good stuff happening with that organization. But guys, as we always like to say, until next time, catch you on the rebound.
Until Talkin Hoopz comes back into play, stay connected by getting at us on iTunes. Keep up to date with all the latest basketball news and rumors and check out all our shows by logging on to talkinghoops.com.
Catch you on the rebound.